Man Tools is brought to you by Madrid Maintenance. Madrid Maintenance offers excellent handyman service in the Colorado Springs area, starting at just $45 an hour. You can reach them by phone at 719-963-2020 or online at facebook.com/Madrid Maintenance.
Enharmonic Studios. Enharmonic Studios is a hybrid digital analog facility designed to be quality and affordable to anyone who wants to make history. Call today 719-963-2020 or go to facebook.com/Enharmonic Studios.
Friend. And then she was like, not everybody has perfectly symmetrical ones.
Damn, that's crazy.
Are you even listening? What are you watching?
It's just for my art class.
Over 50% of women have backup boyfriends. You'll never know when you need one. I'm benching you.
What?
Tyler, you're in.
Hey, who the fuck?
Hey, want to go to a Lakers game?
Courtside?
Yeah. I'm Amanda's backup boyfriend. I've been patiently waiting on the sidelines, pretty much just lurking in the shadows, waiting for Amanda's boyfriend to make a simple mistake. This is my shot. So, you ready for our date?
Yeah.
I'll get the door. Oh, fuck. Don't get the ick. I'm totally fine.
Ew.
I'm totally fine.
When Tyler got injured, I got desperate. I had to activate my third string boyfriend. Michael? What took you so long?
Just had to put my grandma down, but I threw her away. Here you go. Hi, I'm Michael, Amanda's reserve boyfriend. A lot of people called me Mr. Irrelevant because they thought I would never get a chance with Amanda. Well, call me Brock Purdy because I'm finally in the game.
Do Michael and I get along? Not really. But do Michael and I hook up? Absolutely not. But I need an interim boyfriend before I draft a new one. Backup boyfriends. Because it's better to be safe than sorry.
Live from Enharmonic Studios. Streaming all over the world. It's your weekly dose of toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
With Eric Madrid and Trevor Lane. It's Man Tools.
It's Man Tools.
Hey!
What's up, everybody?
Hello, hello.
Backup boyfriend.
Backup boyfriend, yeah? You ever been one of those?
No. I must have been fourth or fifth string. No, but I've been the first dude.
Yeah.
Plenty of times. Oh, well. It is what it is.
I'm a
Girls will be girls.
I'm a geographical bachelor this week.
Oh, grass widower.
Yeah.
Not in the dirt. She not dead.
No.
Grass widower. Geographical bachelor. That's good shit.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You know.
She's wife's down in Lamar dealing with more aunt issues than mom issues. Trying to help her mom with her aunt, I guess, is the way to put it.
Chick stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old elderly relative stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yep.
Oof.
So
Good times.
I think she's coming back on Saturday. Kind of unexpectedly. She was going to go down there just for the weekend, and then it's like, some shit hit the fan, and I'm staying down here for a while.
I'll be here indefinitely. Well, that works.
Okay.
Let's see. That means you get run of the house.
Mm-hmm.
You get hot water.
Mm-hmm.
Finally in the shower. Yep. That's nice. That's super
Yeah.
nice. Let's see. You can actually order pizza if you want to.
Yep.
Let's see. You can watch TV.
Oh, I finished Rick and Morty.
Nice.
Which I'm curious now if they're going to make any more, because the guy that does all the voices got Me Too'd.
Yeah.
And I'd have to Google it. I didn't look it up, but I don't know if the season 8 is in the works with someone else. Is it going to be like the Muppets where everyone sounds wrong?
Waka waka. That forward thinking attitude.
I don't know. We'll see. And then I've been watching Rome. Do you remember that show on HBO?
Mm-mm. Missed it.
Only went 2 seasons. The guy wanted to do 5 and go from basically Julius Caesar to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily he was told in the midst of, I think, writing the second season that they were not going to do a third. So he was able to pull in like some stuff
That works.
The only issue is that the second season does kind of, there's like a
Too much.
there's a bit of a like between one episode and the next, or maybe in the midst of an episode, 4 years later, and you're like,
God
a lot of stuff happened in 4 years.
Mhm.
But
You know, like
It's a-
high school
it's a fun show.
or 6, depending on.
Well,
A lot of people go to college for 7 years.
yeah, they're called doctors.
Oh well, we got a great show for everybody.
We do.
Trevor gets to go home and to a quiet house.
I do.
That's nice. That's nice.
I don't even know what I'm gonna have for dinner yet.
That's
Just gonna
amazing.
stop on the way home.
That's
somewhere.
amazing. Yeah.
And then complain about the bill.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
what?
just don't do Whataburger.
This is a McDonald's. How did I spend $50?
$30 on a. It's
Dude,
it's-
price every time I shop anywhere, it's like the price is just same thing with my dishwasher. My dishwasher's 5 years old.
Oh jeez.
So I really kind of regret getting a guy, but he came out and went, "Yep, it's the control board," which is kind of what I thought. But
What'd I tell you?
You know how Carolyn is like,
Yeah. What I say? What
Yeah.
I say?
I got her point too. She didn't want to go down the rabbit hole of $100 for a part here, $100 for a part there, $100 for a part here, getting the wrong things, and then
Yeah.
you finally hit the right thing, and it's like we could have paid a repair guy that much and
Right.
just been done. But so anyways, yeah, like $400 is what it's going to cost. He's coming back. He diagnosed today and is coming back tomorrow because he didn't have the part with him.
Nope.
So yeah, and he's like, yeah, like clockwork, 5 years. He's like, so see you in 5 years. I'm like,
Mhm.
no, I'll just replace it myself.
Yeah.
5 years now that I
Mhm.
know that is definitely the problem when this
Yep.
happens again.
Yeah.
So
Well, next time, just tell her Eric said. It's always the control board. I got to go deal with one on Monday. And she's like, well, it's da-da-da and da-da-da. And I'm like, I've been to your house. I've worked on your garbage disposal, so I know how you don't put food and do put food in the sink.
mhm.
So pretty sure I'm just going to have to unscrew the thing and clean it all
Clean
out
the
and then
filter and
get the garden hose and fucking
get
send
that.
it.
And sometimes there's like I don't think they call it quite a breaker, but that thing that trips when it's
Mhm.
season up
Yep.
to the safety shit.
Yep. We have to pull it out, flip that, and I told her it's going to be $400.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
and a garden hose. Because man, nothing gets it fucking cleared out. I got one of those bladders, and then you stick it in there, and then it expands. I'm like, it is a dish sanitizer, not a dishwasher. This is why you have a garbage disposal and a trash bin.
well, I've heard you say that before, and then I've also seen. I don't know if I read this or have heard people say this, but have you heard the actually modern dishwashers need some of the food because of the enzymes? And I'm like,
No,
I'm not sure if that's true.
That doesn't work. Let me tell you what happens when you put food and water together and let it sit there. Let me show you what happens. Just put it in a cup and a
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah.
Just get some old food, put some hot water in there, and a little bit of soap, and just mash it up real good, and just let it sit there.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yep.
There's going to be some enzymes.
Yeah.
There will be critters. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's a dish sanitizer. It's not an industrial strength, food impactor, impeller. If you got crumbs and stuff, rinse it off into your garbage disposal side of your sink, not the other side, but the garbage disposal side, or throw the big chunks in the trash and then take the trash
Yeah.
out to the dumpster. And if you have bears, make sure your dumpster's in the garage.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with
Let's
that, let's get
let's-
into the news.
Newsage.
See what's happening in the world.
The 1830s saw botanist Peter Corthels dive deep into the world of kratom, revealing its ancient significance. Decades later, in the 1960s, science spotlighted kratom with Smith, Klein, and French labs exploring a patent of kratom alkaloid. By 2014, the community's voice grew louder, leading to the birth of the American Kratom Association. 2016 was tumultuous. The DEA leaned towards a ban, but facing an unprecedented public outcry and questionable claims by the FDA, they were compelled to rethink by year's end. By 2018, the winds shifted. NIDA invested $3.5 million in kratom research, and by 2019, Utah blazed the trail, pioneering consumer protection. Several states have since followed. Kratom's journey saw a beacon of hope in October of 2023 with the introduction of the Federal Kratom Consumer Protection Act. From historical roots to evolving legislations, Kratom's journey remains a beacon of resilience and transformation.
Learn more from top extracts. kratom.mantoolsmedia.com.
All right. First up in the news, actually, we got a few kind of nonsense things from the UK. But first up in the news from the UK,
Mantool's version of Reuters. What's happening in the UK? University student. What does it say?
Disciplined
After saying veganism is wrong in his own room.
in his own room. Didn't even direct the comment at a person, but his roommate or flatmate, as they call it over there, overheard. And I guess I'm assuming as vegan, I don't even know. I haven't read that far into this story.
Doesn't
said
matter.
he's harassing me. Let's see if I'm right. I suspect
that.
So Robert Ivinson, the guy that was found guilty in this silly court proceeding,
It's like student council court.
I don't know. No, I think it's like a real legit British court, which is wild. But I'm guessing he came home. Vegan guy was cooking vegan shit, and so it stunk. Smelled like cabbage and soy. He went to his room and said, "Oh, fucking veganism is so wrong." And this guy went, "You're harassing me." So let's find out. No, I guess it is a university court because he would be expelled if he breaches any other
University rules.
Robert Ivinson claimed he was formally disciplined after a student next door in his halls of residence reported his comments as here's the thing that I wasn't expecting: offensive and transphobic.
Okay,
is vegan one of the gazillion genders now? I guess. Ivinson told the Mail on Sunday newspaper that he was hauled before university officials and put on a behavioral contract for the remainder of his studies over remarks made during a private phone call. Oh, okay, so he was overheard on the phone. He was later informed by letter that he had been found guilty of harassment and warned that he would be expelled if he breached any of the university's rules. An interview with the Mail, that same place, Ivinson said the incident took place when he was in his first year of studies in 2018. I guess they're just now catching up because it's a recent story. And then a university representative had banged on his door to tell him a neighbor had complained. It was like the Stasi came to my door. He stuck his foot in the door and said, "You've been saying some very offensive things." He said he was hauled before a disciplinary hearing and questioned over his comments. The first thing they read out was that I had said veganism was wrong. I couldn't believe it. I thought I was mishearing them. I asked them to repeat it 3 or 4 times because I didn't believe I was sitting there for saying veganism is wrong.
That's true.
It hurts me that in this country, freedom of speech can now mean so little. It's shocking that a Russell Group university can act this way. He said he apologized to the officials for the disturbance, but maintained his right to speak freely in his own room. I was totally private, apart from that someone heard me through a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
University of Exeter, where the incident happened, has been approached for comment, and I'm sure they didn't, but how crazy, dude. So you're talking on the phone with someone and you go, veganism is wrong, and someone overhears that, and you're now guilty in the eyes of your college of harassing whoever heard that.
I thought,
and also being transphobic.
Sure. Okay. I mean, I get it. It all makes sense.
Sure, yeah.
Topsy-turvy world gone wrong.
I guess,
it all makes sense. It all makes sense. I'm not even surprised.
Nope. It's one of those where you go, shock's not even quite the word.
Yeah. You're kind of just like, oh, one of these stories.
Britain's being Britain.
Yeah. I mean, we left.
But the problem is Britain is us in like 5 years.
I know.
So you see this nonsense going on in like Britain and Canada, and it's like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
We're about 10
right
years away from
doing the same stuff. Can't say that. I don't know. I'm seeing a trend in the very, very young where the way to rebel is now to be I don't know, go like
Trad,
uber
kind of.
Catholic.
Yeah.
Like go uber Republican and just like button down.
Yeah, I mean if you have atheist hippie, woke parents,
yeah, that's what you do.
The rebellion would be
Bible thumping Mormon.
The Pope. You know how cool the Pope is,
right? Yeah, exactly. I'm not getting tattoos. I got a Kurt Russell 1960s haircut.
Yeah.
Just wear a suit and tie to school.
Yep.
I don't know. I like it.
That is wild. Yeah. The counterculture now is counter to the counterculture of days past, I guess.
Oh, this looks fun.
No, I skipped one. Where's number 2?
Number 2.
Well, it was a very similar story also from Britain where a guy is having to pay the legal fees for his company fighting his discrimination suit because they said him saying he's a non-feminist, not anti-feminist, non-feminist at work amounted to harassing all of his coworkers.
Okay, this term of harassment is getting out of hand.
Well, I'm sorry, discriminating against his coworkers. Being non-feminist now means you're discriminating.
I can't identify with current feminism.
Nope.
I mean, the original feminism, I get behind.
I would repeal suffrage immediately.
No one needs to suffrage, Trevor. I get it. Before you all cancel me, you need to go watch that video. This is one of my favorite videos of all time. The college humor guys went out on the beach, combed the beach, figuratively.
Yeah, the Man Show did that too.
Yeah,
the Man Show boy was going around.
Yeah, and asking,
petitioning to repeal women's suffrage.
Repeal women's suffrage, and everybody's signing it.
These idiots are like, yeah, I don't want women to suffer.
Yeah. And then my favorite was on the other one where these two little old ladies came up and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "No, it's a prank. It's a prank. None of these kids know what it is."
You realize how dumb these kids are?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was good shit. They were pissed. They were about ready to tear him a new one.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess here's an example of us catching up to what's happening in Britain. If you haven't heard, Sheetz gas stations, which they're not a chain that's around here, but I guess they're a fairly large chain, like on the East Coast. I'm sorry, Texas. Are being sued by the Department of Justice for racial discrimination because they conduct criminal background checks as part of their employment.
How's that racial discrimination?
Well, they're going with the logic that if it impacts a certain race more than others, then it must be racist.
Let's see what she has to say about it.
Sheetz is being sued over its hiring practices. The U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission filed the suit this morning. It claims that the way Sheetz bases employment on criminal records disproportionately screens out Black, Native American, and other.
So it disproportionately screens those people out, so it must be racist.
Just like the hospital, can't be racist for crack babies.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Multiracial applicants, and that this violates federal law. The suit does not accuse Sheetz of being motivated by race when making hiring decisions.
That's a very important part. The suit doesn't even say you guys are motivated by, like, it would be one thing for them to say you're doing these background checks just to make sure no Black people work here.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even saying that. They're saying because the result is
disproportionately
that a large number of.
It just so happens now that you are doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Decisions. We have reached out to Sheetz for comment, but so far we have not heard back.
Sorry, but I saw an elderly gentleman and a thee, them, they. So go Sheetz.
Yeah. That comes from that.
Do you know how
what's that
a
dude's
non-binary person kills another non-binary person?
I have no idea.
They/them.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Oh, I had a point I was going to make.
Sorry.
And now it's gone. Oh, no, that it comes from that. I forget what his real name is. He goes by Ibrahim X Kendi, and he says that if you're not anti-racist, you're racist, and says that being anti-racist means getting rid of basically anything that results in racial inequalities means that the policy must be racist.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter that the motivation is not.
Right.
It's not enough to not be racist. You have to be anti-racist.
Extra steps.
Yes.
Extra steps. Got it.
Yeah.
It's all about the extra steps.
Fucking clown world.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then we move over to Europe and Germany for a little bit of
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
So a new law is passed in Germany, known as the Gender Self-Identification Act, or at least close proximity to that from the translation from German, which allows infants. Now, the way they word this is a little weird. Allows infants to transition, imposes massive fines for dead naming. What they mean by that is, so you're a couple, you have a baby, it has a wiener or the other thing. But later on, it goes, I'm actually the other one. So now you can go back and have the birth certificate say the other thing.
Mm-hmm. So that you don't get a fine.
Yes. And if you use the dead name, which is, if they were originally named Jerry and now they say I'm Jenny, and you slip, you go, hey, Jerry, you can. I mean, the person would have to be enough of a prick, or I guess maybe someone around them would have to report you, I'm sure, to some kind of authorities.
Through the brick wall.
Mm-hmm. So let's read a little bit. The German Parliament, or Bundestag, passed one of the world's most far-reaching sex self-determination policies on April 12th, despite protests from women's rights campaigners. The Self-Determination Act establishes gender identity as a protected characteristic, which, by the way, just happened here with the Biden administration saying that Title IX, where it says sex, means gender identity as well. And allows parents to change the sex marker on their child's documents from birth. Supported by Chancellor Olaf Scholz's three-party coalition and promoted and supported by the Social Democratic Party, which is basically the commies. The SBGG also creates the potential for citizens to be fined up to €10,000 or 10,800, almost 11,000 in real money for revealing a person's given name and birth sex without their permission, an action that trans activists staunchly oppose and refer to as dead naming.
It's revisionist history.
Sure, yeah.
Just all it is. It's the ministry of doublespeak.
Yep.
Ministry of truth coming at you.
Yeah, fucking I forget the guy's name from the book. Is just sitting there.
George Orwell
getting his little getting his little at least the way it was depicted in the movie, the tubes with the corrections.
Yeah.
The corrections. Oh, I gotta go back into this newspaper article from 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, who's reading a newspaper article from 10 years ago for one thing? And yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
Good times.
Well, I mean, we've already seen not the fine, but the whole, like, for example, if you look up Trailer Park Boys or Inception, it says Elliot Page was in those movies. Because there never was an Ellen Page.
Or the other way around. Yeah, however.
And then the terminology is even self contradictory. Okay, dead naming. So that person died when you changed, right? When you transitioned?
Yeah.
So wasn't there an Ellen Page back in 2006 when you made whatever? They're like, nope.
But yeah, but
I thought the idea
was that person
is not the term dead naming because that person died on this date, and then now it's
you
this
get
person.
to be this person. Dude, don't use logic. Don't do that. Don't do it.
It hurts my head.
Don't do logic. It will bite you in the ass.
I don't know, man. It's wild.
It will.
Well, finally, we this was the story out of Texas that I was thinking of earlier, and this is bananas. A lady in, I think it's Houston, says doctors misdiagnosed her with cancer, and only caught it after she had gone her first 2 rounds of chemo.
Oops.
I'm sorry about laughing. This is it's actually quite sad. Oops, I zoomed the wrong screen. I wanted to zoom over here because it's little. The print's a little small. A Texas woman is sharing her life-changing experience after she says she was misdiagnosed with cancer. Oh, and she was told she was going to die. She had about, I think they said 15 months or something. Lisa Monk said that in 2022, her life took an unexpected turn when she sought medical attention for what she suspected were kidney stones causing her stomach pains. But this visit kicked off a difficult medical journey. She said challenged her physically, emotionally, and financially. According to Monk, a routine CT scan initially confirmed her suspicion of kidney stones, but it also revealed something far more alarming, a mass on her spleen. In January of 2023, Monk underwent surgery to remove the spleen mass, expecting to receive a diagnosis and begin treatment. However, a series of events followed that she said turned her world upside down. They said I had clear cell angiosarcoma, which is a blood type cancer. The wife and mother of 2 said doctors in the Houston area delivered a gut-wrenching prognosis of 15 months left to live. Monk said she embarked on a grueling journey of chemotherapy and hospitalizations as she fought what she believed to be a battle against cancer. But in April of 2023, a twist of fate revealed a startling truth. Monk said the hospital made a grave error. During a routine follow-up appointment, a nurse practitioner stumbled upon the misdiagnosis. It was revealed that Monk never had cancer in the first place. I underwent a total of 2 rounds of chemotherapy, and the Friday before I went in for my third, I went to visit my doctor, and just again, a routine appointment, just checking in before we go in for round 3, she said. The nurse practitioner was reading my file and talking to me, asking me about my symptoms, all the nausea and vomiting and the things that come with chemo. Monk added she just suddenly stopped talking, got a horrified look on her face, and said she had to get the doctor. ran out of the room, left me alone for about 15 minutes, and the doctor came back and told me that I never had cancer. According to Monk, the facility gave her a report showing that she was cancer-free. They had ordered a second pathology. It's possible to do their own in-house. So when they did that, that was the result. My spleen was just going to rupture. It had blood vessel activity in my spleen, and that's all it was. It was never cancer. Yeah. So the surgery did fix the problem.
Yeah. Now she got medical bills. She probably went and got a lot of lap dances.
Well,
sold her car.
If the doctors involved malpractice insurance should be paying her a nice fat settlement.
Yeah,
I would say.
Any lawyer worth their salt.
Oof. So with that downer,
you're going to be just fine, lady. You have malpractice insurance.
Let's have a look at some cool stuff.
If you have a beard, I'm about to blow your mind. Come with me. Hey, I saw a beard. It's a common misconception that women don't like beards. That's not true. We love beards. We like a beard that's clean, smells good, and doesn't feel like a cactus when I'm trying to get close to it. Look, it's not that complicated. Clean it, moisturize it. It's that simple. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. There are some things that women like hard, and there are some things that we like soft. We like soft beards.
Use code MANTOOLS for 10% off.
So, if you were ever interested in getting a robot dog that spits flames,
Flamethrower robot dog.
Now is the time. Apparently, they cost less than $10,000.
Yeah. So if you want to, remove some snow from your driveway,
this guy can do it for sure.
Oh, it's not on gas? Canceled.
Well, I think that's just for the flamethrower. I don't think it has a. No, let's not do the flames in those leaves.
Needs a laser sight to be intimidating.
All right, let's get to the fire. Come on.
Do it. Flamethrower dog. Here it comes. DJ's about to drop it. 1.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
That's so funny. Flamethrower robot dog. Yeah.
The next thing they got to come out with is like a skin that makes it look like a dragon, right?
Oh, sure. Something scary. Something scary.
And then you can take it with you to Comic-Con and, I don't know, cosplay as Khaleesi.
Annihilate the White Walkers.
Game of Thrones, all right, this is also very cool. A man who is nope. There's the story. I labeled it with the wrong number. There we go. Anyways.
Here's an old codger.
Yes. 110 years old, still drives and lives on his own. which is pretty impressive.
Pretty incredible.
At 110 years old, Vincent Dransfield still drives his car every day, getting coffee at the convenience store and buying lunch. He lives independently in his own house in Little Falls, New Jersey, where he's resided since 1945. Holy shit. If he was, that house probably cost $400 when he bought it. The super centenarian requires no help with daily living. So his grandchildren visit him once a week to bring him some groceries and call every other day to check in, but he is otherwise self-sufficient. Dransfeld is in good health, other dealing with achy knees and things like that. Navigates between the home's main floor, his bedroom upstairs, and the basement where he does his laundry without a problem. When asked how he feels at 110, Dransfield jokingly said he's ready to put on boxing gloves. I managed to do everything, he tells Today. I drive pretty good. And one of his granddaughters chimed in and said he drives completely fine, better than a lot of other people I see.
Good for him.
Yeah, there he is with his car. The granddaughter and her brother periodically check Dransfield's driving to make sure that he's doing okay. Family, friends, and doctors are amazed by his healthy longevity. He says, noting she has more health issues at 49 than her grandfather does at 110. When Dransfield required an endoscopy recently for a swallowing problem, the medical staff was stunned that he had only had anesthesia once before in his life. She noticed that the anesthesiologist's hands were shaking. Yeah, I would be too. I'd be like, if I kill this guy.
I know, right? I'm going to be in the news.
It is uncommon for men to live to 100. Only 15% of centenarians are male. According to the New England Centenarian Study, the reasons are unclear.
How long has he been divorced?
His wife died in 1992. I remember reading that
part. There you go.
The club of super centenarians, people who are 110 and older, is even more exclusive. Men make up only about 10% of that group. And he's right behind the oldest man in the world, who is currently 111 and lives in England. So good for you, sir.
Born in 1914.
Yeah. That's wild, huh?
That's so awesome.
I don't think I'd want to live that long, but if I had to, that's,
that'd be the way I go.
That'd be the way to do it.
Yeah.
All right. And then we have some advice for women from a woman on communicating with your man.
Here's a few tips for you to think about before you decide if complaining to your man is worth it. Number 1, learn to work the toilet seat. You're a big girl. If it's up,
I love
down.
this part.
Men need it up, women need it down. You normally don't hear men complaining about you leaving it down. Number 2, ask for what you want. Let's be clear on this one. Subtle hints don't work.
Nope.
Strong hints don't work.
Nope.
Obvious hints don't work.
Nope.
Just say it and be specific. Number 3, you can either ask them to do something or tell them how you want it done, not both. If you already know best how to do it yourself. Number 4, if he asks you what's wrong and you say nothing, he will act like nothing's wrong.
That is correct.
Even if he knows you're lying, because it's just not worth the hassle. Number 5, don't ask him what
It's
he's
so
thinking
true.
about unless you're prepared to hear him say nothing. For a man, thinking about nothing is worth doing, and it violates nothing. It's not personal to you.
We have a nothing box.
There you go.
We pull out the nothing box. We just sit in there with it for a little while because there's nothing in there.
Yep. And then finally, fellas, if you want to upgrade your dating pool, This guy has kind of, I guess, the features that you need to develop.
Sure, sure.
And I think he is spot on with this.
As a man, you can only date within a certain range of yourself when it comes to women. But there are 3 things that allow you to date outside of your numeric attractiveness rating. And so I call it the 3 C's. It's comedy, confidence, or cash. For example, if you're a 6 or a 7, most likely you're going to be dating a 6 or a 7. Because if you're not funny, you don't have confidence, you don't have cash, you're sure as shit not dating out of your league. So if anything, you're at the same or lower. But if you're funny, then you can definitely find, if you're a 6, you can probably date a 7, 7.5, just because you're funny. If you can make a woman laugh, you can date up. If you have confidence, you can definitely date up. If you have confidence and you're funny, well, you probably go from a 6 to an 8. Now, you can go from a 4 to a 10 if you're rich. If you have cash, you can date all the way up the scale. Doesn't even matter.
Doesn't even matter.
He is correct.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Definitely correct. All right.
Is that Metallica song? Sad but true.
Oh. I'm like, nothing else matters.
Yeah, that too. Cash. It worked.
All right. Now we have some sports. And yeah, this will be 1's fun and 2 are sad. I'll put it that way.
Be prepared, folks.
Let's do it. All right. So we start with something fun, like I said. This sport is known as CARJITSU.
So curious.
Which, by saying the name, I think you can maybe guess what this is all about. But yeah, check this out.
And the first round of CARJITSU is underway. Outlaw grabbing the
No way.
seatbelt just as Raven removes it from its holster. And now Outlaw is now cutting Raven in half with the seatbelt. As you can see here, very difficult to breathe for Raven. He's got a front headlock here, and he's got a hold of the opposite seatbelt for leverage. But it looks like Rusty is trying to make his way into the back seat. And that's a strategy that's been used on Rusty in the recent past. Yeah, here he goes into the back seat here, and Raven is still trying to remove the seatbelt from around his waist.
Now he can just pull,
here. Can't get out,
get his feet up on that back seat, get his legs into that pole.
Okay, it looks like maybe Outlaw is trying to set up a triangle here. This is a difficult position for Raven. Outlaw is again right now.
He's
toast. On his way to a triangle choke. He's let go of the seatbelt and he's released Raven, but now Raven has crawled right into the triangle.
I'm just gonna say this. I've definitely got women in the back seat of a car when I was younger like that, but that's a whole new thing.
Yes, it is.
Jesus, that's funny.
All right. I'm not gonna lie. The next 2 stories all have to do with.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
So here we go. And they're kind of the things that you would expect in a sports story with this. We start with a trans runner at a track meet, sparking outrage as she zips past the biologically female athletes and leaves them in the dust. A video of a transgender high school athlete zipping past her competitors and leaving them behind at a track and field meet has sparked outrage online. The video, originally shared online by feminist magazine Redux, shows McDaniel High School sophomore Aiden. I didn't even have to change his name. That can go either way. Gallagher speeding past a group of biological female athletes and keeping a great distance between them and her before she ultimately crosses the finish line. at the 25:49 second mark. The other athletes do not cross the finish line until around the 31 second. There you go. A good half lap,
Quarter,
say
quarter lap. Yep.
Gallagher ultimately finished second in the girls 200 meter varsity at the Sherwood Need for Speed Classic in Oregon on Saturday with Astor Jones. Curious about Astor. Edging her out for first place, which is surprising. Yeah, Gallagher.
Yep.
So someone still managed to beat her, which is surprising, but
Go
fucking
down.
hell.
Go down. A lot of programs. Okay. Just goes on to say the school supports your identity.
Yep.
I'm wondering about the winner. If they did it by no, I don't know that whole thing. You know how they give the I don't know, they give them a head start or whatever, or they do an average precipitation trophies. It's raining outside, so precipitation trophy.
I don't know. And then we have this very similar thing. Trans athlete wins shot put by more than 3 feet.
And the middle school girls,
as at least some of the girls just walked up and held the shot until their time limit was up and then dropped it in protest. And this particular athlete just won a court case that overturned West Virginia's laws against this. So
32-foot effort, 3 feet further than the next place.
Yeah, at her first sporting event following an appeals court ruling that allowed her to participate, as other contestants refused to play against her, Becky Pepper Jackson, 13, competed in the Harris County Middle School Track and Field Championships on Thursdays, 2 days after a court ruled West Virginia's transgender sports ban violates the teens' rights under Title IX. And just to make that crystal clear now, the Biden administration has said their interpretation of Title IX means where it says sex, that includes gender identity. Pepper Jackson took home first place in the shot put competition with her 32-foot effort, 3 feet further than second place, and then went on to place second in the discus.
Weird.
Despite being legally allowed to compete, some athletes protested Pepper Jackson's participation by refusing to play against her. 5 girls from Lincoln Middle School stepped up to the circle for their turn and then refused to throw. And there he is. I think this is one of the protest things. It's like, yeah, nope. So I'm glad at least my one daughter, we'll see what happens with Marion, because she kind of is athletic and could do sports if she wanted to. I guess we just need to make it clear that it's not going to lead to scholarships.
Yeah, you're not going to get those. There you go.
Anything like that. If you think that's your trajectory towards paying for college, it is not. So good luck. And with that, we'll get into the week in his
right. Let's get out of the macabre.
The 1830s saw botanist Peter Corthels dive deep into the world of kratom, revealing its ancient significance. Decades later, in the 1960s, science spotlighted kratom with Smith, Klein, and French labs exploring a patent of kratom alkaloid. By 2014, the community's voice grew louder, leading to the birth of the American Kratom Association. 2016 was tumultuous. The DEA leaned towards a ban, but facing an unprecedented public outcry and questionable claims by the FDA, they were compelled to rethink by year's end. By 2018, the winds shifted. NIDA invested $3.5 million in kratom research, and by 2019, Utah blazed the trail, pioneering consumer protection. Several states have since followed. Kratom's journey saw a beacon of hope in October of 2023 with the introduction of the Federal Kratom Consumer Protection Act. From historical roots to evolving legislations, Kratom's journey remains a beacon of resilience and transformation.
Learn more from top extracts. Kratom.mantoolsmedia.com.
Comes to his end in the gutter, fitting climax to a life.
In front center flank, get it started, Hit side and it's right.
All right, this week in history, April 25th, 1960, the first submerged circumnavigation of the Earth is completed by a Triton submarine. And if I'm not mistaken, it was the Triton, the one that the class is named after. Let's see, April 26th, 1986. The world's worst nuclear disaster occurs at the Chernobyl power plant in the Soviet Union, now the Ukraine. A big part of what made it much, much worse is when you're in an authoritarian regime, you're kind of worried about saying anything bad happened to anybody.
Uh-huh.
So there was a lot of, we can't tell anybody about this and get help or anything.
Yeah, I don't want to tell anybody. This went down. The winds are bad this week, and all the. I just want to, the men who went in there and knew they were gonna die.
Yeah,
knew it. And they went in there anyway, knowing they were gonna die, to pour all that concrete.
Yeah.
And cover that
That's
shit
wild.
up.
Yeah.
Those guys knew they were going to die within days. And they fucking went and did it anyway. Because it could have been so much worse. So, hats off to them.
Yes, sir. Let's see. You said men and women?
I did not.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just clarifying.
I did not.
Wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. April 27th, 1861. President Abraham Lincoln suspends the writ of habeas corpus. If you want to learn more about that, of course, you can go to our locals page and check out, I believe it's called Lincoln, the worst president ever, with a question mark.
With a question mark?
Yeah, one of his numerous
proclamations.
While he's freeing certain people, he's like, these other people need less freedoms for that to happen, which is kind of, I don't know what the word is, ironic, tyrannical, etc. Let's see, April 28th, 1919. Les Irvin makes the first jump with an Army Air Corps parachute. And the parachute needed to be much bigger than they are now because of his balls of steel.
Yeah, that's right. Looks like he deployed it and held onto the plane for a second.
This is back they didn't have doors, so he had to climb out onto that wing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm assuming he said Geronimo.
I bet he did.
And like you said, it looks like he just pulled the cord and let the wind take him. Oof. Well, I can see his logic. You don't want to jump and then have it not open.
Yeah. I'll make sure this thing's open. Yeah, yanked off that wing.
Let's see. April 29th, 1992. 4 Los Angeles police officers are acquitted of charges stemming from the beating of Rodney King. And of course, some crazy riots ensue. Yeah, that was one of those. That was one of the first where a citizen taking video was involved.
And what's scary is this looks like it happened in the 50s.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It just shows you how technologically advanced we were in the 90s, folks.
Let's see. April 30th, 1789. George Washington is inaugurated as the first U.S. president. And as I got a kick out of saying, some people either got it and others were like, what the fuck are you talking about? But when Trump did not attend the inauguration for Biden, everybody was like, it's the first time in history that the president's predecessor has not been there. And I was like, that's not true. The inauguration of 1789, Washington's predecessor was not there. Like, wait, what?
But
let's see. Finally, May 1st, 1931, the Empire State Building opens for business in New York. And is that blip like anchored up there? Is that what's going on?
I don't know.
Or is it flying by? I can't tell.
It's probably behind it.
It would
or it's
it wouldn't surprise me if back then they were like, you know what this tall ass building needs? A blimp.
So somebody
gate,
will notice it. Yeah.
A blimp anchor.
Yeah.
You can bring your dirigible here, and because that was back when 1931, we still thought Hitler was really cool. And boy, those Germans had blimps.
Yeah, blimps. They had a cool little car. Went all the way across Germany on one tank of gas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a cool little car.
Yeah. All right. That, of course, does sadly bring us.
They invented the shower?
Did they? I hadn't heard that one. The end of the week as well as the end of our show.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's raining.
Why not?
It's raining out. We got lightning and rain, all kinds of shit happening outside. It's kind of nice. Well, that's it. It's over. It's done. We made it. Locals members. Man Tools at the Movies Police State Part 2 is out and available. You can watch it if you want. And then out later this week, possibly tomorrow.
Could be tomorrow.
All right, later this week, tomorrow, Tuesday, whenever you get your podcast. Will be So You Want to Shack Up and Maybe Get Married. We're gonna talk about that. It's gonna be interesting. Get those in all our members only content, along with live weekly ad-free episodes for just $3 a month at mantoolsminions.locals.com. Also get 1 month free with our secret super code, support free speech.
Right.
All keyboard warrior
so
caps.
You can try before you buy.
Yeah. Just like jacking up.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're going to have fun with that one, boys and squirrels. Our merch is at merch.mantoolsmedia.com. Get free shipping if you're in our Facebook group, 20% off if you're a Locals member. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Please visit them at sponsors.mantoolsmedia.com. Pick up some of their swag, some of their stuff, like their pages, do all of the things. They make this all possible. Thank you for watching and or listening. Check us out at mantoolsmedia.com, links.co/mantoolsmedia. It's been a fun week. We're going to do some more stuff, and then we'll see you next week.
That's right. So good night, everybody.